going on, everyone? This is Tony with RcHelpDotCom, and it's time to take these servos and put them into this Goblin. Now, I know what you guys are going to say. We've already done this, but I'm not going to make you guys sit through 10 hours of live stream just to see me install some electronics. It's just not going to happen. Now, one thing I will say, we had these servos in there. As you can see, I'd already shortened them. The wire management on this thing was perfect. But ALZRC versus BK servos, BK wins. The ALZRC servos, they will be going into another project, so don't worry about that. They were donated by Fran, and I greatly appreciate it. I think everybody would agree. We'd rather have BK servos in this helicopter. So in this video, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're just going to get these things mounted into the frame, and I still got to put the icon on it. I still got to put the ESC on it. Still got to put the motor on it. As you can see, I've completely stripped it out. The ESC was here. I had a satellite here. The gyro was up here. The motor was here, obviously. And yeah, I went ahead and took every bit of it off because I want to show everything on video of what we're doing to this, and I don't want you guys to have to go through 10 hours of video just to see me install some servos or an ESC or a gyro. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get these things in there. The first thing we're going to start with is the tail servo. Now on the tail servo, I've already got it set. This is a, what is it, 760 microsecond. So I can't use my usual servo tester to test it, but since we've already went through, I have already centered this. If you have not centered it, leave your arm off. Do not put your arm on. You can put it on later, and once you get it connected to the gyro, then you can set center, you can put your arm on, and you can get it trimmed in. So to put this on, I'm doing this just like the manual shows. If you guys have seen the animated build of this helicopter, they actually put this plate in there and then they put the servo in. That's how they want you to do it in the manual as well, except in the animated version it went through the frame, like literally passed through the frame. So yeah, that was a little weird. But anyway, we're looking at the left side of the helicopter. You can see how I have this right here. We're just going to slide this in there. Nope, wait, hold up. Yeah, a little problem with that one. Alright, so yeah, this is like future Tony. Yeah, time travel, complicated. You know how it goes. So you saw me installing this like that. That's wrong. I have no clue why I put it in like that. The way it needs to go in is, feed this through here. It needs to go in with the back facing you with the arm in the front. I have no clue why I was trying to put that thing in the other way. Get in there. It is kind of a pain to get this one to kind of wedge in there, but this is the way that it needs to go. Again, I don't know why I was installing it backwards, but for some reason I did. So we'll just go ahead and throw this in here real quick. Let's see, that's going to be the bottom one. So we'll get that one started. You guys can kind of see down in there a little bit. Alright. That top one started. Get in there. We'll go ahead and tighten this one down. Every now and then when you're making these videos, you have a brain fart moment. You put stuff in backwards, then you get to redo it. So, yeah, I'm having double the fun here, kind of. So pay no attention that all this other stuff is already on here. We're going to go through that here in the next video, I believe it is. So, yeah, my apologies, guys. Again, you just put this in, screw it in. Don't over tighten this. It is going into plastic, and your tail servo will be in. So, hopefully no more egregious oversights like I just had on the tail servo. Alright, back to the video, guys. Let's go ahead and get these cyclic servos put on. Alright, as you can see, I've got all of my screws here to mount the servos. Before I do that though, I do need to put the balls on here. Now I have already centered these servos. You guys can click the little eye right up here and it'll show you exactly how I use this little device to center these arms to get them ready to put on the icon and then do the final adjustments. But now we need to take the balls off of these. Look at those little chintzy arms, and then look at the arms that we're going to be using. Alright, so to get these off, you're going to need a 1.5mm driver. These do have nuts on the back side of them. I don't think we're going to be able to use them nuts on the new one. I kind of figured I was going to need some needle nose for this to hold this backing nut. Go ahead and grab a hold of it. Take the nut off. Alright, so now I'm just kind of pushing with my thumbnail and then turning this counterclockwise to take it out. I do see a little bit of stuff on that, so I'm going to take and just run it counterclockwise to try to get all of this stuff off that you can barely see. Now in the manual they do want you to put it in the middle hole, which is 14, and that is exactly where we are going to put this. So push and turn, no thread lock. This is going into plastic, obviously. Once it gets snug, that's it. I'm going to go ahead, take these two off and put it on those two servos there. And there we go. We have all three of the balls on all three of the servos. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take these little guys here and I'm just going to snap them on. The elevator already has it on because, like I said, we've already built this once, but I'm not making you guys sit through 10 hours of video. Alright, let's go ahead and snap those on real quick. Pop this one on. Perfect. And clean up our mess. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and start with the elevator, the one that does not have the linkage because it's already in there. Whenever you guys put these on, make sure your arm is facing from the center shaft. Make sure it's facing away from it. This should, yeah, that's actually got plenty of room in there to clear it. That is absolutely perfect. I love it. Let that sit right there. Go ahead and grab a screw. Now again, these already have threads in them, so I'm going to try to go back into the same threads. So I'm just being real gentle putting this screw in. Once it stops, just snug it. As you can see, my fingers slipped off of this. Just snug it just a hair, and that's all it requires. We can grab another screw. We're going to come over to this side. These are the servos that I did the how to replace the BK gears video on. I know the servos work great. They have a sacrificial output gear, and it broke on all three of them in a crash on a Goblin 420 actually. As you can see, just two fingers running just like that, and then those two fingers tighten it down, snug it down, don't tighten. I guess it's one and the same. You could opt to go ahead and put only two screws in here. I'll show you that here in just a second. As you can see here, there is a screw hole in the center, so we could just put one screw there, but they give us enough screws to put 4 in each servo, so that's exactly what I did. Alright, let's go ahead and raise our swash plate up, and all I'm going to do is just pop that linkage onto the servo. Ooh, that one kind of stung. Alright, go ahead and get this back one, which is going to be the elevator servo. Again, your arm should be facing away from the main shaft. Pop that on there and screw it in just like before. Then after this, I'm going to do the pitch servo. Alright, and there we go. I did go ahead and snap these two on. Once I was done with this and snapped it on, I just snapped this one on before I actually started installing it. So now, as you can see, we have some tremendously long wires. I am going to do a video on shortening these, and that's going to be a dedicated video. But for right now, we're just going to kind of run them back where they need to go. See if that'll, oh yeah, that'll fit down in there real nice. I was kind of worried about these wires because they're a little bit thicker than what the old wires were, and I was worried about wire management on this one. But wire management is not going to be a problem. This one here, we're going to go ahead and run it down just like this. Then we're going to put it between the main block right there and the servo. So we just got to kind of look down in here. And hopefully it'll work with me. Come on now, there it goes. So yeah. So as you can see there, I just got it between the servo and the main block. I'm going to try to take it all the way down to the bottom. And now that is already properly wire managed. Set that out of the way. If you remember on these servos, we got like this servo here, which has an extremely short wire. That's going to be this servo here. And then these two are really close to being the same length. As you can see there, there's not much difference. And we're going to do the exact same thing to these servos here. So guys, all 4 servos are installed. In the next video, we're going to go ahead and get the motor installed, the ESC, and get the gyro mounted. From there, we're going to do a video on shortening these wires, and it's just going to go on until we finally put this bird in the air, which has been a long time coming. I do have to give Gina, one of the moderators on RcHelpDotCom, a huge thank you for sending me these arms. I don't know why I didn't have these arms, but I didn't. So she sent these arms, and I went ahead, put them on here. Donated arms, donated BK servos to a donated helicopter syndicate. Can't thank you enough, brother. It is absolutely awesome that you sent this to me. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, if you learned something, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. It's greatly appreciated. If you guys have any questions, comments, or suggestions, post them down in the comment section below. And as always, I want to thank all y'all for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video.